What's up guys, it's Chapter Power here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review of the Sentinel Toys Getter 1. As you can see, this is the third release for Sen-ti-nel. Alright, and this is the box, comes in a nice matte finish box with a red illustration, or picture, I should say, of Getter 1. And here is a high gloss backwards E, or 3, not an E, a 3, duh. And if we look on the back here, you'll see a Getter 1, alright, from the last day. And all the different awesome poses you can achieve with this awesome little robot. Now I have already, opened this and checked it out. I have not really posed it or even put the cape on, so we're going to check that out in this video. It's pretty much the same thing I reviewed, the black Getter 1, so check that out if you haven't so already. But now you get to see it in his standard color. So we're going to go ahead, open it, and check it out. And normally you'd be able to check out the contents here. You'll see he's missing because I took him out. That's why. And all the little accessories we're going to also check out. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that so we don't keep talking here. So here's our chubby little robot friend. Fat robots need loving too. And I sure love me this robot. This is such a beautiful figure. I did mention before that it kind of gives like the Soul of Chogokin line a run for its money, but they're not exactly the same thing. It's almost comparing apples to oranges because the Soul of Chogokin do their own thing, Sentinel does their own thing, and they execute them in different ways. But I just love the detail on these and the proportions. I love the proportion. This actually looks like it jumped out of the screen to me. And I know when you watch the anime that sometimes it looks skinny and fat, but I just love the proportions on this one. I'm going to go ahead and compare it to a Soul of Chogokin, which is this guy right here, and you'll see the proportions vary greatly. You'll see the legs are a lot longer, you'll see he's a lot thinner, even the proportions of the head are different. So you'll see what I mean by the detail. It's a lot higher on this guy, and I think I paid less for the Sentinel. And I like how they vary the finishes. There's gloss, there's like satin finishes, there's even the details here on the chest, the clear green. On the Soul of Chogokin, it's just painted. Even the blades on the arm have a lot more detail, they're beveled edges. So this is really their take on this character, and this is Bandai's take on the character. What I do love about the Sentinels is the articulation. Alright, a lot of people were turned off by the head here, the neck I should say. There's a big gap and there's a peg that's just way too long really. You kind of could get rid of it by posing it a certain way, but it's always going to be there, alright? But not that big of a deal. Don't even think I'm going to even try to shave off that peg. It's not worth it. You get the articulation here, alright, with these pieces, which is, that's just amazing. You get the inner shoulder joint, which you'll see right in there. That's actually like a maroon color, which I just love the contrasting reds. It's beautiful. So you get that movement on the inside. Right? You get the outer shoulder here. You also get the spin here. You get the elbow. And notice the elbow, that little piece comes out just ever so slightly right there. Right? And I believe you can pop these. Yeah, there you go. You can extend them to get an even greater range of motion, and that's an amazing thing to me. Right? And then that part here is die cast, and we also got the waist here, and the precision is just amazing. It looks like it's rubbing, but it's not. You won't get any scratches there from articulating it, which I thought was excellent. You can kind of see the mechanisms of the articulation inside. You'll get the little bottom here with the orange, another detail there, the difference in color, which is separate, and you'll see that little piece right there moves. You also get the extending leg if you need to get more articulation, like bringing this way forward as opposed to just stopping short of where you want it. And you get these panels back here, right, which close up when not in use. And the knees also extend out to give you a wider range of motion. When you do extend the leg, these automatically hide like so, which is excellent really. I'm just so in love with this toy. You got the toes, you also got the feet that come out a good amount there. So overall, a really incredible piece. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just situate all the joints in this guy to continue the review. Alright, before we really continue, there's something about the first issue that they kind of took care of in this one, which wasn't that much of an issue, but it really is if you decide you want to use it. And I'm talking about this little cover back here. You'll see it's been taped up. Alright, because in the first one, if you remember my video, it was missing, and I ended up finding it in the box, but apparently a lot of people did not find it, or they dropped it when they opened it. Whatever the case, they did update this one by putting a piece of tape there, which means that it probably still falls off very easily. I'm just leaving the tape on there because I don't need to put any stand or anything like that, and this will keep it from falling off. And it's still sort of invisible, but it should be something they should update if they ever re-release this, so we don't have that issue and have to keep our robots with tape. Now, before we check out the weapons, we do want to check out, or at least I do, want to check out the stand and get it out of the way, because I'm not a big fan of stands, but if you are, here they are. And they are interconnecting, if I'm not mistaken, and they use little slots here, right here, so you can peg them in. And it's also got the instruction sheet here with the cape. Can't wait to put the cape on it, but this is like the other one. It's got the little metal wires going through, so you can set the cape flowing in the wind. And it's also got this spare head. At first I just thought it was a backup head in case the other one falls off, but it turns out it is a different sculpt. The regular head, if we'll move right up here, just zoom in just really quick, you'll see the regular head has bigger eyes. It just looks a little more normal. This looks a lot meaner, a little more evil even. Right, so that's there. I'm going to keep this regular one. I do like the regular one, but I do have the option of changing it. The next thing I want to show you guys is how to put the cape on, which is a little tricky, but I think I got the hang of it. As you can see, we're looking at the back here. There's a panel that pops out, right, and it's on a swivel. Mine's a little loose because, hey, guess what? I broke it. Not broke, but I snapped the glue off because I had no clue what I was doing. But you want to take the hoop, put it around this part. This part separates from the inside. There's two little holes which clip onto two little nubs that are in there. And just put this in front of those two pieces. Whoops, I'm off camera. Sorry, guys. Put it in front of those two pieces. Just work it in there. And then close it. Well, maybe not all the way, but enough that you can wrap the hoop around this way, around the red piece, and then bring it down. Then you can close that, and there you go. Now it's hanging off the bottom, and the cape is now correctly installed, I hope. But next would be to feed it under here. You don't want those two little things sticking out. And there you are. Now you got the cape, and it looks awesome. So those are pretty much the benefits of watching a review, is letting others break stuff first. Alright, so we're going to check out the axes here, the tomahawks, whatever you want to call them. We're going to check it out with the optional hands, which are these, to hold it. Now he's also got open hands. He's also got clips that allow you to put the axes on his back, clip this way right to the back. But they're a pain in the butt to do right now, so you might want to check out my review of the Black Getter, which is the same thing. Clips on the same in the back, so if you want to check that out, check out the other one. But for now, we're going to move on with this guy, and he does have these awesome guns, and they're like incredibly detailed. It looks like they're even weathered. There's some darker shading going on in the panel lines, so they did do some nice panel lining. All right, not too dark so that it looks fake, but just right. Okay, and all right, so the axes, to use these, you pop off the ends, then you just slide them right through the hand, pop that back in. All right, which is also important to read directions, because if you just try and force this through the hand, you might end up messing something up. So pop that in there, close it. And one of the things I forgot to show you guys in the articulation part, at least in this video, is the fact that the wrists extend. So you'll see the extension right there, which is a cool little feature. But while we're at it, we'll pop off the hands there, peg these in. So they're not on ball joints, but there is like a Revoltech type joint that doesn't ratchet right there. There you go. You can see it's a little hard to take off the first time because some paint is seized on there, but not a big deal. Alright, so here he is with tomahawks. Alright, next thing we're going to do is check out the gun. So we're going to have to use the other alternate hands. Alright, so we're going to change these hands to the other ones that have already the weapons installed. Pop that in. And I know when he wields these guns, he's always in some crazy position. You'll just have to use your imagination because I'm not that great at posing these figures. But as you saw before, articulation is excellent. So you can do whatever the hell you want with these guns. He does hold them, but there is a little bit of play when you go to pose them, and sometimes won't even hold them up. But you can mess around with that as you like. And one thing, and I think these guys are pretty crazy for doing that, is this part here where I showed you to install the cape. If you press that, this little belly thing pops out, and you got to be careful because it will shoot out with force. It's not spring-loaded, it's just the friction that's required to push this ends up popping that out with force. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, well, that time didn't do it that much, but I almost lost it the first time I did it. In the cape, I almost forgot to show you the wire in the cape. So you can bend it around so it looks like it's flowing in the wind. And again, beautiful piece. And I think I did lose that damn belly piece. Can't find it. So we're going to have to end the review with the open Getter beam. I think that's what the Getter beam thing is from his stomach. Whatever. Haven't watched the anime in forever. But yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the robot. It's freaking awesome. I would recommend this over the Soul of Chogokin one by far. Alright? And I know if you guys might be looking for a lot of diecast, this is not insanely big with diecast, but it just feels really, what's the word? Substantial, like a diecast figure. It does have diecast, don't get me wrong. It's most evident here in the legs and on the inside of the body, but most of the outside on the top is plastic. But you'll never really be able to tell just by holding it, because everything just looks great. Everything's painted beautiful. And on that note, guys, the review is over. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Until next time, bye-bye.